The reservation at Meridian was for 7 o'clock, prime time for the restaurant. Every table was full, the dining room buzzed with conversation, and the kitchen ran at full capacity. My sister Claire had picked the location. "It's the best seafood in the city," she texted. "Perfect for a family dinner. You'll love it." I'd said nothing, just confirmed we'd be there. My son Tyler, 14 years old and growing out of every shirt I bought him, sat beside me in the booth. Across from us, Claire's twin daughters, Sophia and Emma, both 16, were already looking at the menu with the confidence of people who ate at expensive restaurants regularly. My mother sat at the head of the table, reading glasses perched on her nose as she studied the wine list. "The Maine lobster is supposed to be incredible here," Claire said, not looking up from her menu. "Fresh, flown in daily. Girls, you should try the lobster platter. It comes with drawn butter and everything." "Can I get that too?" Tyler asked, looking at the menu description. "It sounds really good." Claire glanced at him, then at me, then back at her menu. "That's a bit expensive for, well, you know." "For what?" I asked calmly. "For everyone. I mean, we're celebrating Sophia and Emma getting into their top college choices. This dinner is really for them. Everyone else should probably order more modestly." Tyler looked confused. "But you just told them to get the lobster." "They're the guests of honor, sweetie. Different situation." The server arrived, a young woman named Ashley, whose name tag I recognized because I'd approved her hiring 3 months ago. She didn't acknowledge me beyond a professional smile, which was exactly what I'd trained the staff to do when I was dining as a guest. "Good evening, everyone. Can I start you with drinks?" Claire ordered a bottle of Chardonnay for the table. Mom ordered a martini. The twins both ordered sparkling water with lemon. "And for you, young man?" Ashley asked Tyler. Before he could answer, Claire interrupted. "Just tap water for him. Regular glass, nothing fancy." Tyler's face fell slightly, but he didn't argue. Ashley wrote it down and left. "Claire, that was rude," I said quietly. "What?" "I'm trying to keep costs reasonable. You know how expensive these places are. You just ordered a $75 bottle of wine. For the celebration. Look, Amanda, not everyone needs the full treatment. Some people are here to celebrate, and some people are just extras." Tyler stared at his empty place setting. "Extras?" I repeated. "You know what I mean, like in a movie. Some people are the main characters, some are supporting casts, and some are just background. Extras. They're there, but they're not really part of the story." Mom set down her menu. "Claire's right, Amanda. Tyler should understand his place at this dinner. It's about the girls and their achievement. Not everyone gets to be the center of attention." Ashley returned with the drinks. She placed the wine glasses carefully, poured for Mom and Claire, set down the sparkling waters for the twins, then pulled out a simple water glass, the kind we use for tap water, and slid it across the table to Tyler. Not placed. Slid, like you'd slide a bowl to a dog. Tyler picked it up without looking at anyone. "Are we ready to order?" Ashley asked. "Yes," Claire said. "The girls will both have the Maine lobster platter with drawn butter and garlic roasted potatoes. I'll have the sea bass. Mom?" "The scallops, please." Ashley wrote it all down, then looked at me. "And for you?" "The lobster platter as well, please." "Excellent choice. And for the young man?" Claire answered before Tyler could open his mouth. "He's fine with the water. We're not ordering for him." Ashley's pen paused over her notepad. "I'm sorry, nothing at all?" "We don't feed extras," Claire said, as casually as if she were commenting on the weather. "You can eat at home later." Ashley looked at me. I saw the recognition in her eyes. She knew who I was, and she knew this was wrong, but she was professional enough to wait for my direction. I smiled at Claire. "Noted." "What does that mean?" Claire asked. "It means I heard you. Please continue." Ashley took our menus and left. Tyler sat very still beside me, staring at his water glass. Across the table, Sophia and Emma looked uncomfortable but said nothing. The appetizers arrived, oysters for the table, which Claire had ordered without asking. Tyler watched everyone else eat. I didn't touch mine. "Amanda, you're not eating," Mom observed. "I'm not hungry." "Suit yourself. More for the rest of us." The conversation flowed around Tyler like he wasn't there. Claire talked about the girls' college plans. Both had gotten into prestigious East Coast schools. Mom praised their achievements. The twins basked in the attention. Tyler drank his water and said nothing. When the entrees arrived, Ashley placed the lobster platters in front of Claire's daughters with a quiet description of each component, The sea bass for Claire, the scallops for Mom, and my lobster platter, which I still had no intention of touching, and nothing for Tyler. He watched his cousins crack open their lobster tails, dip the white meat in drawn butter, and take their first bites while making appreciative sounds. "Oh my God, this is amazing," Sophia said. "Mom, you have to try this," Emma added, offering Claire a bite. Claire took it, savored it, and nodded. "Worth every penny." Tyler took another sip of water. That's when I saw Chef Michael emerge from the kitchen. He always did a walkthrough during prime hours, checking on tables and ensuring everything met his standards. He was heading our direction. I stood up as he approached. "Chef," I said, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "Could you join us for a moment?" Michael looked surprised but approached. "Of course. Is everything satisfactory?" "The food is excellent, as always, but I wanted to introduce you to my family, my sister Claire, my mother, Patricia, my nieces, Sophia and Emma, and this is my son Tyler." Michael greeted everyone politely, then looked at me with a question in his eyes. "Michael has been the head chef here at Meridian for almost 2 years," I said to the table. "He's extremely talented. We're lucky to have him." "Thank you," Michael said carefully. "The restaurant has been very successful." "It should be. I invested quite a lot to make sure it would be." I smiled at Claire. "Actually, I should clarify, I don't just invest in Meridian. I own it. Purchased it outright 18 months ago," Michael reports to me, as does everyone working tonight. The table went silent. Claire's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. "What?" "I own this restaurant, the building, the business, the entire operation. When you made this reservation, Claire, you made it at my establishment." Mom set down her wine glass. "Amanda, is this true?" "Completely true. I own Meridian. I also own 2 other restaurants in the city, the Harborview and Lucia's. This is my business." Ashley had stopped at a nearby table, listening. I gestured for her to come over. "Ashley, could you please tell my family who I am?" Ashley looked nervous but professional. "This is Amanda Foster. She's the owner of Meridian Restaurant Group. She owns this restaurant and 2 others. She's my boss." "Thank you, Ashley." I looked back at Claire. "So when you said, 'We don't feed extras,' and slid a water glass to my son, your nephew, at this dinner you arranged at my restaurant, you were telling my employee not to feed my child. In my own establishment." Claire's face had gone from white to red. "I didn't know." "You didn't know because you never asked. You assumed I was still struggling, still living paycheck to paycheck. You assumed you could bring your family to an expensive restaurant, order $60 lobster platters for your daughters, a $75 bottle of wine, appetizers for the table, and classify my 14-year-old son as an extra who doesn't deserve food. Amanda, I'm sorry, I didn't mean." You told him to know his place. That some people are main characters and some are extras. You had a glass of water slid to him like he was a stray dog. Mom found her voice. "Amanda, there's no need to make a scene. Actually, there is. Because you backed her up. You told your grandson he should know his place at a dinner celebrating his cousins. You agreed that he's background, an extra, not worthy of a meal." I turned to Michael. "Chef, my son would like to order now. Tyler, what would you like?" Tyler looked up at me, his eyes wet. "The lobster platter?" "The lobster platter for my son, please. And bring out the special reserve side dishes, the truffle mac and cheese, the grilled asparagus, and the chocolate lava cake for dessert. Also, I'd like you to prepare one of your off-menu specials for him. Your choice. Whatever you think a 14-year-old who just got called an extra would enjoy." Michael smiled slightly. "I have just the thing. I'll take care of it personally." After he left, I sat back down. The nearby tables had definitely heard. People were whispering, looking over. "Amanda, please," Claire said quietly. "This is humiliating." "Interesting that you feel humiliated. How do you think Tyler felt watching your daughters eat lobster while drinking tap water? Being told he's just an extra?" I apologized. "You apologized after finding out I owned the restaurant. Would you have apologized if I were still the struggling single mom you thought I was?" She didn't answer. Mom cleared her throat. "Amanda, we should discuss this privately." "No, Mom, we're discussing it right here, right now. Because you need to understand something. I've spent the last 6 years building a restaurant business. I started with a food truck, worked 90-hour weeks, learned every aspect of the industry. I bought my first restaurant 3 years ago. I've been successful, very successful." "You never told us," Claire said. "Because you never asked." You were too busy assuming I was failing, too busy teaching your daughters that some people matter more than others, too busy making sure Tyler knew he was background. Tyler's elaborate meal started arriving. Michael had prepared a smaller lobster platter, the truffle mac and cheese, asparagus, and what looked like a Wagyu beef slider that wasn't on the regular menu. "This looks amazing," Tyler said quietly. "Enjoy it," I told him. Then I looked at Claire. "The bill for tonight will be interesting. Your table has run up about $400 so far. That bottle of wine alone was $75. The lobster platters are $60 each. Would you like me to comp the meal, or would you prefer to pay for it yourself?" Claire looked panicked. I assumed you'd. "You assumed I'd pay because I own the restaurant. The same restaurant where you said we don't feed extras. Where you had water slid to my son like he was beneath you." "Amanda, please." I stood up again. "Tyler, grab your food. We're moving to a different table. Ashley, please prepare a private table for 2 in the back room, and bring the check for this table." "Wait." Claire stood up too. "You can't just leave us with a $400 bill. Watch me. You brought your family to celebrate your daughters. You made it clear who matters and who doesn't, who's a main character and who's an extra. You've eaten your celebration meal. Now you can pay for it." "I don't have that kind of money right now." "Then perhaps you should have been more thoughtful about ordering $60 lobster platters and $75 wine when you plan to classify a child as not worthy of eating. Ashley, the check, please." Tyler and I moved to the private dining room in the back, a space I'd designed specifically for important client dinners. Ashley brought his food, plus additional sides I knew he'd enjoy. "Mom," Tyler said after we'd settled, "why did Aunt Claire call me an extra?" "Because some people measure worth by money and status. They think some people are important and some are just there." She was wrong. "But you own this place. You're important." "I own this place because I worked hard. But that's not what makes someone important. You're important because you're you. Because you're kind and smart and decent. Not because of where you sit at a restaurant table." He took a bite of lobster. "This is really good." "Good. Eat as much as you want. It's your restaurant too." Through the glass partition, I could see Claire and Mom having a heated discussion. Mom was opening her purse, probably checking her credit cards. The twins looked mortified. Ashley came to check on us. "They asked me to tell you they've left. The bill has been paid. They wanted me to say they're sorry." "Did they say it to you, or am I supposed to pass it along?" "They said it to me, ma'am. Asked me to convey it." "Thank you, Ashley, and I'm sorry you had to witness that." "If I'm honest, ma'am, it was pretty satisfying to watch you handle it. What they said about your son was awful." After Ashley left, Tyler asked, "Are they going to hate you now?" "Maybe, for a while. But Tyler, I need you to understand something. You are never an extra. Not in your own life. Not in anyone's story. You're the main character in your own story, and anyone who treats you as less than that doesn't deserve to be in it. Even family, especially family, because family should know better." We finished dinner, all 3 courses, plus dessert. Tyler had never eaten so much in his life. When we finally left Meridian, it was nearly 10 o'clock. In the car, Tyler was quiet for a while. Then he said, "Mom, can I ask you something?" "Anything." "Did you really buy 3 restaurants?" "I did." "That's pretty cool." "Thanks, buddy." "And you named one of them Lucia's?" "After your grandmother, my mom's mother. The one who always said I was special." "That's the one. She would have loved watching you eat that lobster tonight." He smiled. "I think she would have liked watching you tell Aunt Claire off even more." He was probably right. Some people learn to know their place. And some people learn to own the place. My son learned the difference tonight, at a restaurant table, with a lobster platter in a building I own, while his aunt learned that extras sometimes write the checks. And sometimes, they just cancel them.